Okay, so
Okay.
all right. So here's A. A is
Uh-huh.
here, and we know that M is between B and C.
Yeah.
So we can literally we can make this graph, but we need to find the midpoint between B and C.
Hmm.
Do you remember that from yesterday?
Yeah, that's were
So
you
it's
writing
2 plus
uh
10 over 2, and then 10
yeah,
plus 0 over 2.
and you're treating 2 as x1 and then the 10 is y1 and then 10 is
Yes. Yes,
all right.
exactly. 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 So 6 over 5, like that.
Yeah. And would that be the point where they intercept?
No, that's the midpoint.
Right. That's what I meant by
Yes,
that.
that's the midpoint. So now we need to find an equation, right? The equation of the median line. So to do that, we know that it goes through A, and this midpoint, A is minus 2 comma 4. The midpoint is 6 comma 5. So even though you're in geometry, it's now just an algebra question. It's now
Mhm.
just find the equation of the line through these 2 points. Do you want me to graph the triangle, or would that help?
It's all right. I got that
Okay,
visualized.
you got that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just finding the slope between these 2 points.
So y equals mx was b, right?
Yes,
For
we're gonna write that equation for sure.
y equals mx plus b. So am I going to use that point below m equals y2 minus y1?
Yeah, you're using that to find the slope, and this is now your
Oh.
x1 and your y1, your x2 and your y2.
So I can treat, so I have to use the beginning of the
You have to use
median.
A because that's right there.
Yeah, endpoint m
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Okay, so use a m for slope. So then, all right, I'll just start writing that out. 5 minus 6. All right, so I got 1/8,
Okay.
and
So
then
that's 5 minus 4 over 6 minus a minus 2. That's 1/8.
mhm. And then with 1/8, I'd write y equals 1/8 x plus b, and then would I use point A again?
Yeah,
Uh,
you can use either A or M. You can use either point.
all
So,
right, I'll
so
just use A again.
okay, so that's minus 2 and 4.
Minus 2 and
So that's
4
4 equals 1/8 minus 2 plus B.
times minus 2 plus b, and that would get you 4 equals minus 2/8 plus b.
Okay, so
Or
negative 1/4, right?
um, sorry, I did the math wrong for that.
Negative 2 over 8, right?
Yeah,
Because
negative
you're
1/4.
multiplying the tops and multiplying the bottoms. That
Right.
reduces to negative 1/4.
Okay. Shoot. Yeah, I need to memorize that. I don't know. I've been struggling with that. And then 4 plus 1/4 equals b, and then that would be 1 equals b, so b equals 1.
No, you're adding 1/4 to both sides of the equation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now four is really 16 over 4,
Mm,
right? It's really 4 over 1.
yeah.
You multiply by 4 to get 16 over 4.
And then that would be
17 over,
17/4.
yes.
So then would I go back
You go
to,
back to where I don't even have on the screen here. You go back to
yeah, y
this.
equals 2,
No,
7.
1/8 x. Y equals 1 over 8x
Hmm.
plus 17 over 4.
Y equals 1/8 x plus 17 over 4. And
Yes.
then I will make that Fn equals 1/8.
No, you don't have.
And
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't have to do that. You do not have to do that here.
oh, okay.
You do not have to do that here.
Oh, right. Yeah, this isn't, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I did do that, then that would be wrong.
yes, this is done. Okay. But it asks for the y-intercept of this line. Okay. So
Mhm.
you need to like write the equation, but you also have to say now the y-intercept or the b value is 17/4.
Okay. But needs y int. So then y and b equals 17/4. So it might. What's my next step here?
You're done. You're done.
Oh,
It says
so
find the y-intercept of this line. Done right there.
oh, okay. I didn't know if I needed to like prove that it was the
No,
y-intercept.
no, no, no. It's already there.
Okay, cool. All right, that makes it easier.
All right. So let me just go back. I need to graph these points from there. So B is 210. And C is 10, 0. Okay. All right. So this one I actually do need to graph in. So we're going to go on to the next,
All right,
next one here. All right. So go ahead and look at part B. What does it ask for?
Minus 2. Oh, sorry. It's asking for a graph and equation of altitude BD.
BD.
And to find the x-intercept. So then once you make the triangle, you make a line going down from B to split it up evenly.
Yeah. Now, no, it's an altitude. So altitudes are different.
Mhm.
Altitudes drop straight down.
So then this one's
But they have to meet at a 90-degree angle.
And this one is not an altitude.
No, it is. But what I'm trying to like you jumped into something that it isn't. Here's roughly the altitude. I don't know if this is exactly right, but that's roughly the altitude.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, and this is different. I mean, this is totally different. So to find the altitude, you have to first find the slope of AC because it comes down from B. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
It comes down from B.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is D here. So we've got to find the slope of AC. So A is -2, 4. B is 2, 10. Actually, I didn't draw the right graph. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Ah, blessed. Wait, did they change the points?
Um,
210 and 10, 0, right? Yeah. Okay. No, I got it here. 10,
Okay.
0, and then 2, 10. Okay. All right. Now, the slope. So we got to find the slope here between A and C.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 0 -4 over 10 minus a -2. So that's -4 over 12.
All right. And then would I reduce it from there or?
Yes. So it'd be minus 1/3.
Okay. So then I see. So I'm finding the x-intercept of this line.
No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. You got to follow the steps. We got to find the slope because that's the slope from A to C.
Mm-hmm.
You want the slope from B to D. So you need the perpendicular to this.
The opposite. So
the perpendicular is you flip it and negate it. So it becomes 3/1 positive or just 3.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we write y equals mx plus b, but we know that m is 3.
We know that m is 3. Okay.
Okay, now this is really important. When you go back to your picture, it goes through this point B and D, but you don't know D, but you know B. So which point do you use?
Use point B.
Point B. So use 10 and 2. Or 2,
Okay,
10, right? X and Y. And use those to solve for B.
Solve for B.
Yeah,
All right, so then 10 equals 3 parentheses 2 plus b, and then b equals 4.
right. So that goes back into this line right here. Y equals 3x plus 4. You need the equation, but we're not done.
Mhm.
So in all these problems, you get the equation of the line and then you do something with it. And
Yeah,
that's what
sorry,
it
go ahead.
wants. It wants the x-intercept.
Right.
So the x-intercept is when y is 0.
So then that would be 3x.
0 equals 3x plus 4. You're putting 0 in for y and you're solving for x.
So then would I subtract 4?
Yes,
Okay. It's equals minus 4/3, and then that's it from there, right?
that's it.
All right. And then that's your proof that you did it, and also just slash solving it.
Yes.
And then
So what I think you need to understand is that A, B, and C are all separate problems. And that's why the instructor said, I'm going to give you one of them, because they want you to know all three.
yeah.
So you have to look at the problem and know whether it says perpendicular bisector or, well, I didn't even write it down, altitude or median. And there's 3 separate recipes for each of those.
-2 and 4, 2 and 10. All
So it's
right.
the same graph again. Let me grab this here, another snip of this. So this time, perpendicular bisector of AB. Okay. So A and B, there's a point right in the middle. There's a midpoint.
Midpoint. And with the midpoint, it's going down.
There's a midpoint right there. Okay.
Yeah.
And that tells you AB right there. So here's the perpendicular bisector. It has to meet at 90 degrees.
Perpendicular bisector must have 90 degrees.
90 degrees. Okay. So here's what we need. We need the slope of AB, because once we have the slope of AB, we can find the perpendicular of it.
So then AB. So M's representing the point M, correct?
It's the midpoint, yeah.
All right.
And we need that because the perpendicular bisector, it cuts it in half and it goes 90 degrees.
Okay, so then would I be using points -2 and 4 and 2 and 10?
Yes, you're using A and B to find. So you will do better on this quiz exam, whatever it is, if you draw it, because you need to see what it is that you're drawing. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Now AB, okay, A to B, you got 10 minus 4 over 2 minus a minus 2. So that's 3/2.
Okay, so and then in this case, do I need to flip them and negate it?
Yes, because you want the perpendicular. So the perpendicular slope is minus 2/3.
Perpendicular is -2/3. Okay, so then.
So we would write y equals minus 2/3 x plus b.
Y minus 2/3 x plus b, and then I would use.
What is the only point that we know that it goes through? Which we haven't actually found, but it's right here.
M.
M. So we need the midpoint between these two.
So then we would
add the x values.
Add the x values and
add
then
the y values and divide by 2.
0 and 7.
Good.
So then when we have 0 and 7,
we put that into this.
So then 7 equals 0 plus b, and then
b is 7. Yeah.
And then I put that back into that, which then makes it y equals minus 2/3 x plus 7, and then
And then you're going to do something with it.
Y-intercept. So then we make x 0. So then it's just y equals 7, correct?
Yes, perfect. Yes.
All right. This makes more sense now doing it again.
Okay. If it were me, I know you don't have much time, but I would do each of these over again. Median, altitude, and then perpendicular bisector. Make sure you got each of those down cold.
Yeah. I'm also going to review yesterday's video too.
Okay. Now, actually, yeah. So we can do 1B real quick if you want.
All right. Yeah, I think I would like to do that.
Okay. Or we can be done here. So it's
We
up to
can
you.
just go through it real quick just because I don't want to keep you waiting too long.
Yeah. So here we go, 1B. So the difference here is that, you know, even though X goes up by 1 each time, like we talked about last night, okay, this does not go down by the same amount. In fact, it actually goes like, it's kind of like you got to sort of like guess and check here. You don't know enough to be able to do it. So one thing you can do is you can take the second term and divide it by the first term. Sometimes that helps. Okay, but unfortunately this becomes, well, actually this will help. It becomes 1/4.
Okay.
So each,
change.
yeah, and then if you do like 1/64 over 1/16, this is also 1/4. Now, in terms of how I get that, you multiply the top and bottom by the reciprocal, and you reduce.
Okay.
Okay. Now, why do we need that? Because it's an exponent. So this is where I kind of, it's not really helping you, but I'm going to show you. It's 1/4 squared, 1/4 cubed, and 1/4 to the power of 4. So notice the X value is in the exponent now.
Yes.
And the Y value is just 1/4.
Yeah.
Okay, so our function would be y equals 1/4 to the power of x, but x is really n and y is really f of n.
Y is n and x is f of n. Okay, so
this is where, like last night, we would do f of n equals 1/4 to the power of n.
Okay. And then
that's it. And then you got to evaluate f of -1, I guess. But
so then that means that we just multiply it by -1.
Nope. This is new, and this is why I was hesitant to even go through this. What this -1 does is it flips the inside.
All right.
And it becomes 4. It's kind of out of scope, truthfully.
Yeah.
But I'm going to look real quick at the ones you sent the other day. I think all of the ones that are not linear are like this, where you figure out the ratio, like the number that's inside parentheses, and then it's always to the power of x.
Always to the power of x.
Yes.
Okay. And when it's always to the power of x.
So like let me look at this. I'll show you this one right here. Okay, so if you have 9 divided by 3 is what?
9 divided by 3 is 3.
And 27 divided by 9 is
3.
And 81 divided by 27 is
3.
So this is y equals 3 to the x.
Y equals 3 to the x.
And that's from one of the ones you gave me yesterday. And here's another. We can do this one real quick. Okay. So you got 4 divided by 2, 8 divided by 4, and 16 divided by 8. What do those all equal?
They all equal 2.
Good. So it would be y equals
2 to the power of x.
Yes. All right. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you write it like that when you're not given.
When you know it's not linear.
Yeah. And by linear, that means it's
It's what we did yesterday where they go up by the same amount.
Uh-huh.
Like
Oh
notice
yeah.
notice from 2 to 4 it goes up by 2, but
Right,
then 4 to 8
yeah.
is 4, and then it's 8 again. So that's no good. That's not linear.
Okay. Not linear is when it moves up, not in the same pattern.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then so you just have it as 2x, and then would they ever ask you to plug anything in as x? Or...
Yeah, that's what they said, like what is f of 0? So that would be 2 to the 0.
And then would I just write f of 0 equals 0, or?
No, 2 to the 0 is 1. So this, you're going to see this later in the course, but it's, or no, you'll see that next year, actually. Sorry, you're not in algebra 2 yet. Yeah, sorry. These are, I mean, you did see it last year, but it's, it's among many things.
Not very common.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that I can answer for you, or any other questions that you have?
I guess like my one question is back on the first problem we did today, which was 2a.
Yeah.
So when I'm writing it out, I got it to be like 25/3.
No way. We got the equation right here.
Yeah, so that's when it's like so when there's fractions,
that's okay.
Then would I have to multiply the
No,
denominator?
No, you don't have to do anything. You wrote the equation, and then you found the y-intercept.
All right.
There's nothing more to do.
Okay. And then will I ever be solving that equation in the future, or just I don't ever have to worry about that?
Possibly, but it looks like you're either going for the x-intercept or the y-intercept.
Okay, and then that's just like finding the x or y-intercepts, just making the other one 0, correct?
Yes, well said. Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
All right, is that it?
Yeah, I guess that I think that should be. Oh, right. My one other question is, so when it's y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1.
Yes.
And then there's the one where it's.
What's always that? That's always the slope formula.
Okay, and then there's
that's
like
always
x1 plus x2/2 and y1 plus y2.
That's the midpoint formula.
Okay. So but you have to use for these, you have to use one to get the other, correct? For like.
Well, it depends on the problem. So when you're doing a perpendicular bisector, you need the midpoint. When you're doing a median, you need the midpoint.
Okay.
Which we found right over here.
And the y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, that's the slope, correct?
Yes, that's the slope. Yeah.
Okay. So slope will be seen in the linear functions.
Yes.
And then the midpoint formula would be seen in the I don't want to just say problems with a triangle, but median line problems.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then with a median line, does that have to have the 90-degree angle in it?
No.
Okay. But then the altitudes and perpendicular bisectors do need 90 degrees.
Yeah. So for the midpoint, for the median, you need the midpoint. For the altitude, you need the perpendicular. And for the perpendicular bisector, you need both.
Okay, so for median, I'm like splitting the line in half.
Yes.
And for perpendicular bisector, I'm also like splitting the line in half.
Exactly.
But when I split it in half, it has to have 90 degrees.
Yes.
Okay, and then altitude's just
the perpendicular. Just the perpendicular. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
That should probably be all my questions.
All right. Thanks so much, Zach. I look forward to helping you again. Have a great night.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being flexible with that. All right.
Bye now.
See you. Thank you.